Hello. So today I'm going to talk about a plugin called PermissionsEx because by default you can't, or the players can't use the plugins because you actually need permissions to use them. So that's why I use PermissionsEx for that. And you go to your server, of course, and the plugins folder. And then we have a folder called PermissionsEx. And you go in there and you have two files here. The config file, I don't change anything here. Just let it be everything by default. You can change this if you want to, if you know what you're doing. The one that is important is this permissions file. So if you open this, let's see, and drag it out over here. And there's nothing much here at the moment. Just one group and one permission. So I'm going to add some groups first. And first I'm just going to change this one, and it's called, I'm not going to call it default. I'm going to call it citizen. You can call it whatever you want, you know, players, members, whatever. This is the first group, and it's also the default group. So when people join the server for the first time, they will automatically be placed in this group because it's actually set to true. So the other groups will be set to false because they are not the default group. And what we're going to do here is that I'm actually going to add a couple of things here in the options. And right underneath the default here, I'm actually going to just press enter, and to make sure I'm at the start there, and I'm adding a prefix. So in the chat, this citizen here will show up in the chat before your player name. And I'm also putting some colors on it. So this and F is the color for this bracket, this red bracket here. And how do you know the colors? Well, you go to this website and you can see the different colors, and down here you see it's white and F. And if I go then on the, I want this citizen to have a different color than white, and that's the A. And A, where do we have A? We have A, that's A over here, and it's this green color. So in the chat this name will be green instead of white. And then we have and everything after this text will be green, but I want the last bracket to be white again, so that's why I have this color again. And then we have a space here, because if you don't have the space here, if it's just like this, the message you write will be just directly after this bracket, and that looks a bit weird to me, so that's why I have a space here. So right after this space, the message will sort of start. So that's the prefix, the sort of color for the group. And then I'm actually going to add underneath this prefix a rank. There is a rank system on PermissionsEx, and it's a number basically from 1 to 1000, and the lowest rank is 1000, like this. So the citizen has the lowest rank, and me, the owner, have rank number 1, the highest rank. So you might think that 1000 is the highest rank, but it's actually the opposite. It's the lowest rank. And after that, we are going to have a bunch of permissions, and there is already one permission by default, and it's modify world. And it's modify world dot star. And the star means that everything, every permission, so to speak, so that you can actually break blocks and place blocks. So how do you know what permissions to add? Well, it depends on what plugins you have. So, for example, I have Essentials, and Essentials have a lot of different stuff you can do with it, and you need to add a permission for every little thing, and sometimes it can be a little bit annoying, but you only have to set this up once. So the initial setup for PermissionsEx will take a long time, but then you just add stuff to it. So, well, if I have a so-called message of the day that shows up in chat when you join, so to be able to view that of the day, here it is. User sees MOTD on connect and can use the command. So a permission for that. So what you do is, here is the permission for it. So to be able to view that, you need to add this permission. So just what you do is that you in here, I'm just going to copy this first thing here. It needs to be like that, and then what you do next is that you actually just copy this permission and then you just paste it in. For some reason it went like that. It should be like that. So yeah, and then you just add more and more permissions, but I already got a bunch of permissions here. So what I'm going to do is just paste those in here. So this is the permissions that I set up for my citizen, and I will put a link to all the permissions. It's over here on the paste bin. So everything is here, all the permissions and stuff. So if you want to be able to use this, you can just copy it, copy all the text. So yeah, so citizen, what can it do? Well, I have a plugin called Bottled XP, which means that if you have gathered a lot of experience or XP, and if you die, you will actually lose those XP, but you can actually save them in bottles and with these plugins. And to be able to put your XP into bottles, you need to do this get max command. So you need to add the permission for that, because otherwise you can't use it. So all of these are for the Bottle XP plugin. And here comes the essentials. And yeah, there's a lot of them. And there will be more for different groups. So for example, if you want to be able to use the /back command, that's the permission for that. If you want to check how much money you have, things like this. And also if you want to be able to use the /home command. And also, for example, if you want to be able to set your home. So every little detail like this. And here are all the different signs that I have. if you want to, for example, I have a shop, a sign shop, using Essentials. So to be able to use that by sign, you need permission for it. Also warps. And down here, actually, I have another plugin called Grief Prevention. So to be able to use a couple of those, I just add, for example, claims and stuff, and create claims, buy and sell claims. So yeah, every little plugin you have, you need to add permissions for it. And this is only for the citizen group. And yeah, that's that. So the next group, I'm actually going just copy this like that. Because the thing is with groups is that each group that you add underneath here, they will inherit these permissions. So every group will be able to do this, plus a bunch of extra permissions. So right here at the bottom, I'll just a new row, and now I'm going to paste that in. And I'm actually going to add a bunch of other groups here, so it should be a couple more here. Like this. Just the initial. And of course I'm going to name them differently. Next one will be called Streamer. If you are a streamer on Twitch and play on it, you'll be in this group. And of course you need to change this. I have it. It's called Streamer. It have a different color, number 5. Let's see the color for that. Number 5. It's over here. It's a little bit purple-ish color. So I thought it was, this color was the closest one to the Twitch color, you know, the dark purple. And the YouTuber group that I have will have this C, the red. But streamer, and I'm going to change the rank for that because it has a little bit higher rank than the regular citizen, so it's going to be 900. And then we're actually going to add the inheritance thing, so it will inherit all of these permissions. So I don't have to add them again, it will just automatically inherit all of those. So inheritance, you need to add this, and then you have to name what group it will inherit from. And it's a citizen group. So it will inherit every permissions from the citizen group, so it will inherit all of this. And it's actually not going to have any extra permissions. So it's going to have the same permissions as the citizen group. And same thing with this group. Next group here, I will call that YouTuber. And it's actually have a different color. Number 4, it was the red one, and YouTuber name. It has the rank of 800, and it will inherit permissions from the streamer, and the streamer is inherit from the citizen group. So now the YouTuber will also have all of these permissions, which is perfect. And then we are going to have a group called VIP, and it will inherit, of course, from the previous group. So it will also have all the citizen groups, so it will kind of step back. And they will have, VIP will actually have a bunch of extra permissions. So it will have all of these permissions plus some extra ones. For example, let's just do this, copy them in, and so the VIP will now have all of these permissions that over here, plus some extra stuff. It uses the essentials fly. They can also change the game mode so that they can be in like creative or spectator. Citizens and the streamer and YouTuber can only be in survival mode, but VIP can actually change the game mode, and you can specify which game modes they can switch to, but I just set them to all the game modes. They can also use the signs to change kind of your game mode. They can also add spawners. They can add all spawners. They can also use the TP command if you don't want to teleport. Use the teleport command or TP command. And they have some extra grief prevention claims as well. And they can also use the world edit plugin. And the star means that they can use every single command in world edit. You can specify which commands they can use, but I just have the star there so that it can use every command. Okay, so next group will be admin group. So over here, admin group, and of course it have a different color. As a VIP was number 3, so that's this color here. And I think the admin have this number 1, it's with dark blue. Admin, yeah. And here you see the different ranks. You get higher ranks, so rank number 10. And of course it will inherit permissions from the VIP, so the VIP can do all the things the citizen can do and the VIP can do. So they can do all of this. And I'm actually going to add a bunch of other commands because they are admins, and they will have a bunch more permissions. So I will put that underneath here. So you can see there's a bunch of more permissions. They have some extra commands for the bottle XP. They can check the statistics from others. They can give bottles. They can interact. They can also use another plugin called the dynamic map. So they can actually use a radius render command. And they can check other people's let's see what that was actually was. Balance others allows you to see the balance of other players. That should actually be on the citizen because there's a so-called top list. So I'm actually going to move this up to citizen, and I have them in, okay, balance top. Let's see if I can add it over here maybe. Yeah, we'll do it like that. So yeah, the admin, they can do a lot of stuff. They can give stuff to other players. They can kick people. They can also ban people from the server and ban IP addresses. So yeah, and they can also, for example, citizens here, designs. The citizen can actually, you can see they can use the sign, but they can't create the sign or the buy sign, the essential signs. They can't remove them either. They can only use them. But the admin can actually break them. They can remove the sign completely. They can also create a buy sign. They can also create these signs. So that's good. You can do stuff. That's good to have these groups, because you can set things to citizen, to the player, to use things but not create them or remove it. That's a good thing. They can also spawn mobs and stuff like that, and yeah, a bunch of stuff, and unban if they want to. I have a sort of policy that says if you get banned, you will be banned forever. So I might just remove that, but yeah, if you get banned, you are banned forever. Also, grief prevention, it can do a lot more. It can do the admin claims. The regular player can't do that. Only admins can do that. And it can also change the weather and stuff like that. And this is SCS, standalone, what's it called? Let's see. Yeah, no, it's a showcase standalone. And it will actually show, it will be a floating item above a block. You know, when you throw items on the ground, they will be sort of spinning and jumping up and down. This plugin will actually just add that, and you can't pick up that item. It will always be there for display, which is perfect for the shop, because when you have the sort of economy system, when you buy stuff, the signs, it's only text and the item ID. It doesn't say what kind of block it is. It's just item ID, but people don't know what the item ID is. So that's why I have this, to display the item as well. So yeah, that's the admin, and then can do a lot of stuff. What did I have? I have, yeah, streamer, YouTuber, VIP, admin, and I'm actually going to remove this last one because there's only one group left, and that's the owner of the server. That's the owner group. And okay, wrong one. Like that. And of course the different prefix, rank number 1, and it will of course inherit permissions from previous group. You don't really need it because you are the owner, so you are probably operator on the server, or OP, so you can do everything. So you don't really need the permissions either, but I'm actually going to have a couple of permissions here. And those permissions are that you can't get banned. So remember, the admins can actually ban people, but as an owner, I don't want to get banned. Same thing with the temp ban. I don't want that either. I can't get kicked. I can't get muted. I can't get in jail or jailed. So yeah, that's the how you set up the groups in PermissionsEx. And of course, you need to save this file as well. So yeah, you can see there is a lot of permissions. So yeah, and now you have different groups, and let's actually see if I can start the server. So just putty, and just do it like this and open. And let's go actually to my own server here. See my old server. Like that, and sudo start.sh, and password, and it will now load the server. Let's just wait a little bit here. Now it's loading the plugins. Okay, server is started, so let's open Minecraft and just play. Okay, this might be a little bit laggy for you. Let's actually change OBS. Let's see if I switch to Minecraft like this and change this to like that. Okay. All right, you can't see it. Let's see, refresh. Okay, I haven't really. Let's change this one. I think it was this one. Edit, edit, and I think it was 89. Refresh. Yeah, and there we go. Okay, here you can actually see that message of the day. So yeah, different groups you have, and also world map, also the Discord, link to the Discord. This is the old settings. And the PermissionsEx. So how do you move players between groups? Well, you actually have to type a specific command for that. So just paste it in here. And it should be px user and it should be the player name, and it should be me in metrics, and then the group name that you want to place them in. And if I want to place myself in the admin group, I just do this, group user cell, and if I type anything, it says right there next to my name, it says admin in the blue text. So I put back myself to the owner group, or let's see, citizen, how does that, citizen, and if I type now, it will be the green text. And here's why it's important that you have that space between the group and the player, because otherwise my this let's see, where was it? Yeah, the prefix, I had the space between the brackets, so otherwise the my player name would be just next to this bracket here, which kind of looks weird. So let's move me back to the owner group. If I type now, you see it's kind of orange gold text. So that's kind of nice. So that's that. So that's how you move people around, and only the admins and the owner, me, can move people between groups. As I said, the citizen is default, so you are green. So yeah, that's how it works. I hope you kind of got something out of this and it wasn't too complicated. What you can do is, as I said before, let's just exit this so it doesn't take up too much resources. Quit, and let's go back to desktop. And let's stop this server as well. So yeah, and remember, I put every permissions in this paste bin, so you can go here, and if you want to use this stuff, just go ahead, just copy all of this and use it. That's kind of the easiest way. Just go into the permissions configuration or the permissions file and just paste it in here, everything here. So yeah, that's that. So see you later.